Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this Vanarama National League South tie as Hampton and Richmond take on Dover Athletic here at Beverley Stadium. I'm your matchday host today, Johnny Luter, and well, very close to the end of the season, aren't we? This is the final home game of the 2023-24 season, and Hampton and Richmond look to get all 3 points today against Dover Athletic, who already find themselves relegated from the Vanarama National League South. Hampton and Richmond, due to the result on Tuesday night, have dropped out of the playoffs. So Hampton and Richmond need to get all 3 points today to stand a chance of getting back into the playoffs, providing other results go our way. So today is another massive fixture for the Beavers. Just got a couple of clips to show you as well. First clip with the Bath City highlights from Tuesday night, and Louis Fell caught up with Mel Gwinnett before today's game to get his thoughts and opinions on such a crucial game for the Beavers this afternoon. Straight through Hampton and Richmond at the moment. Looks like Hampton and Richmond are playing with a 3-4-2 this evening. Well, that's come straight through to Wilson. Handball in the box, I think. I've just realised 3-4-2 doesn't make sense. That's not enough players. 4-4-2, I mean. Here we go. Cook. Oh, it's hit the post! Wow! Deborah again, he's looking like he's trying to pick out Mason Bloomfield, but Greenslade does enough to get there first. But Deadfield intercepts the ball. Switches it to Gray. Gray looks to bring in Ravan. That's a very good ball by Jake Gray. Ravan in the penalty box now. Defended very well by Bath, and that goes out for a corner. Deadfield whips in. Looking to find Fernandez. Oh, so close. This is Dyer now on the halfway line on the far side. Batten looking to find Yeboah. He's got... Oh! Deadfield standing over this one. Good ball in. Oh, Fernandez was there to meet it, but just goes out. Alan Dayball rolls that one out quick. Hunt. Here comes Hunt. Oh, that's a well-placed pass by George Hunt to find Ravan. That's whipped in. Could it find Seymour? Oh, it's just... Oh, that was so close. Just waiting for Greenslade to take it. He takes this one. Looks to find Wilson. He does, and that ball's whipped in by Greenslade. Looking to find Yeboah! What a good goal by Bath City, it has to be said. The ball comes in from Greenslade, and Yeboah was there in space to convert it. Hampton and Richmond 0, Bath City 1. Oh, Dominic Ravan intercepts that one well, so it's back with Hampton and Richmond here. Done. Looking to find Gray, but Greenslade intercepts that one back. And Gray's won that one back well. This is Gray. He's got an opportunity to get it into the box. And Mason Bloomfield, oh, Ben Seymour! And it's back with Bath City now. Oh, but it's intercepted. And here comes Ben Seymour charging forward. Is he going to get a clean shot away? Oh, it's saved very well by Will Boose. Daybar's goal kick, looking to find Bloomfield, but he's wrestled there by Batten, and instead it's with Deadfield. Deadfield back to Gibson Hammond. Nice touch. Oh, a bit heavy for Jordan Thomas, but he recovers it well. Pip Blado. Looking to find Seymour, but Mason Bloomfield's going to be there. Good touch. Is he going to get the shot away? Oh, my, wow! Really close! Oh, wow, that was so close for Hampton and Richmond. Ravan whips that one in. Oh, Seymour's just managed to control that one. Back to Gibson Hammond. Ravan on the far side. Ravan's going to whip that one in. Is anyone going to be there to meet it? Bloomfield was, but it just goes over the bar.
So, Mel, we're going to the weekend, approaching our final home game of the regular season, hosting Dover Athletic. I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. Again, we've got something to play for. We need a win, obviously. I don't think anyone is surprised with me saying that. Dover, a good young side. You know, we've just done our due diligence on them. They're a good side, pass the ball well. A lot of good, talented young players there, coached well. So they'll come here full of confidence, nothing to lose. They'll come and have a go. So we're going to need to be at our very, very best to get the result that we need.
Yeah, them being a relegated side almost frees them up a little bit, and as you said, they'll come with no fear.
Well, I think the nice, I won't say the nice thing, that's not fair on them. I think as a manager, if my team were relegated or promoted with a few games to go, you start prepping for the following season. So I would imagine the fact they've got all these young players in and they're playing very, very well is part of what they're doing. They're getting ready for next season and using these last 3, 4, 5, 6 games to prep for next season, and so they should. And certainly they look at teams that are going to be challenging in the lower division next season.
Going into these last 3 league games, how's the squad shaping up? Obviously, we've come through a bit of a patch with a few injuries.
Yeah, we're now sort of relatively okay. We've got 3 or 4 each week not getting used, which I feel for them, because we're not getting results either. So 1 or 2 of them will come back into contention. And the reason they're left out isn't because of their abilities, just because of the skill sets I think we need at each game. And this Saturday there'll be a different skill set, and they'll be changing the team again going into Saturday. So the squad's looking good. I feel for the lads not currently involved, but should we make the playoffs, I think that they'll all come into their own. And certainly we've got 2 very, very big games coming up after this one. St Albans away and then Mason away. So again, the whole squad will get utilised at some point. So to looking forward to Saturday. Great. It's a shame our last home game isn't the last game of the season. It's always nice to finish like that. But the penultimate weekend of the season, and looking forward to playing at home in front of, hopefully, a big crowd.
Yeah, absolutely. As you said, long, gruelling season, and suddenly here we are at the last home game. It feels like a big occasion.
Yeah, I think it should be. And I mean, this time last year, we'd just secured safety in this division. With 3 games to go, we just made ourselves safe. So in 10, 12 months, we've come a long, long way. We've gone from a team that just survived in this league last season to a team that's now hoping to make the playoffs and put ourselves into a position where, with 3 games to go, it is in our hands. So I think it's a big celebration. I've been talking to some of the owners this morning, and I said to them, from the players' point of view, they put 43 games of hard work in to get us to where we are, and they're desperate to get it over the line now and get to the playoffs. It's what they want to do. There's no pressure from the club, no pressure from anybody to make the playoffs, other than what we put on ourselves. We are desperate to be in the playoffs. But the players have had a very, very good season so far, and hopefully can finish it off with making the playoffs.
Also, one final question just on Dean Inman, who did his interview with Jem Mende earlier this week, who's announced that he'll be leaving the club this summer and off to Australia. Yes,
yeah, you got a feel for Australia. No, I mean, Dean's great. Dean's been absolute stalwart for me. Last season helping keep us up, was a massive player, and this season again, through our runs and where we've been and trying to get into the playoffs and being where we are now, 6th, 7th in the league, whatever we are, he's had a big part in that, and all credit to him. He's great to work with. He's great around the dressing room, and he's such a solid, dependable player and individual. So I know he helps the younger players, and he'll be a massive miss for the club. And I just wish him and his family all the best. And I know he's got a brother out there, and it'd be great to be able to spend some time with him, I would imagine. And I really wish him all the very, very best.
So just a few words there from Mel Gwinnett about today's game, and of course at the very end of his interview there, mentioning Dean Inman, an absolute veteran of the club. Dean Inman will be leaving Hampton and Richmond at the end of the season as he moves on to pastures new, going all the way to the other side of the world, to Australia. So on behalf of everyone here at Hampton and Richmond, we wish Dean Inman all the very best for the future, and perhaps he'll be tuning in to a few Hampton and Richmond games on the other side of the world. Might have to be up in the middle of the night, I think, for that, but Dean Inman, thank you very much for your service to the club. Anyway, back to today's game, as I'll hand you over to Laura Howard for match commentary this afternoon as Hampton and Richmond take on Dover Athletic at Beverley Stadium.
Welcome back to Beaver TV for commentary of Hampton and Richmond versus Dover Athletic. The visitors are already consigned to the drop as they sit 10 points adrift at the bottom of the National League South. The game then represents nothing more than a chance for pride for the Whites. For Hampton and Richmond, it means a whole lot more. With a recent spell of 6 games without a win, the Beavers will feel today is a must-win to keep their hopes of playoffs alive. but Dover should not be seen as a pushover. Their newfound freedom in their inevitable relegation means the Kent side have recently taken 3 points from second place Chelmsford City. The Beavers could be back in the playoff spots by the close of play today, or face a strengthened dam in the way of their hopes to promotion. In as much contrast as we see in the jeopardy of the two teams today, you join us at a remarkably sunny Beverley, the antithesis of the torrential rain we experienced in the reverse fixture when Jake Gray poked home the winner at the Crabble Athletic Ground. I'm Laura Howard and I'll be taking you through today's games, and to start us off I'll run you through the teams today. For Hampton and Richmond, there is one change from the defeat to Bath City at home on Tuesday evening when the Beavers lost 1-0 to put a dent in their playoff hopes. In goal, it's Adam Desbois, Jordan Thomas, Louis Fernandez, Ben Seymour, your captain Jake Gray, Sam Deadfield, George Hunt, Sam Dreyer, Isaac Pitblado, Mason Bloomfield and Dominic Ravan. The change, of course, being Rory Donaldson dropping to the bench and Sam Dreyer entering the starting lineup. Your substitutes today are Rory Donaldson, Rob Hall, Connor Curran-Brown, Shane Dunn and Josh Anafa-Woes. Anafa-Woes, of course, having made the move here, might be seeing some familiar faces today. He was formerly of Dover Athletic before moving here mid-season. The visitors today, their team starts Matthew Rowley in goal with Roman Charles Cook, Freddie Oliver, George Nikaj, Bailey Akehurst, George Wilkinson, Charlie Naylor, Jacob Mensah, Luke Baptiste, Dante Stewart, Scott Holding, and the substitutes today are D. Jaden Drakes Thomas, Kay Garrett, Henry Young, Nick Dembele and Kay Neil Gray. The referee and his assistants today are Dan England, Imran Khan and David Payne. Of course, a lovely sunny day here at the Beverley, starting to fill up, and we're hoping for another bumper crowd. It was, of course, announced midweek that we've beaten our best overall home attendance in a single season already, and I'm sure we'll be adding to that today. That's a total of 23,007 having attended the Beverley at home this season. So thank you if you make up any of those numbers, and we really appreciate your support this season. Another news announced this week was the signing of Victor Sedende. He joins the club on a non-contract agreement and was of course a substitute midweek. Doesn't feature today, but I'm sure he'll play a part in the future of the club. And more news coming out of the club this week, of course, was Dean Inman, who sadly announced that this will be his last season in England, a true stalwart for Hampton and Richmond, and has been vital to such a successful season this year. He's moving to Australia next year to join his brother and niece, and that full interview is available to watch on the Hampton and Richmond's YouTube channel, the 22 Club, which I'm sure will make for a really fascinating watch and a real insight into Dean Inman as a player and as a person, and we of course wish him all the best in his move to Australia, but hopefully we can give him a good send-off at the Beverley with a result today. Of course, this one is really a must-win for Hampton and Richmond. They're currently sat just outside the playoff spots, and it's so close with Farnborough at the moment. Farnborough sitting in 7th, having played 44, so Hampton and Richmond do have a game in hand. Both have won 19, both have drawn 12, and it's just one extra loss for Farnborough, which keeps us level on points. So a win today could take us back into the playoff positions and give us that well-needed advantage over Farnborough, depending on results elsewhere. The goal difference also very, very close, 9 for Farnborough and 8 for Hampton and Richmond. So they'll really be looking to get the win today. Aveley, of course, threatening behind. They're only 2 points behind Hampton and Richmond, but again, Hampton and Richmond have a game in hand. So the teams are coming out here at the Beverley. A big, big, big game for the Beavers today in their playoff hopes, and having spent most of the season in the playoffs positions, we've really got to root for them and really got to get behind them today. They are coming out in their navy blue shirts and white shorts and socks. Dover are effectively the reverse. They're in white shirts with black socks and shorts. It is, of course, a strange fixture. Dover already relegated this season, but have changed their manager since we last played them. And of course, without that pressure, they're basically under no pressure here today. They can go for it or not, and they have nothing to lose here today as they visit the Beverley, and I'm sure they'll be looking for revenge. It was a scrappy win almost in reverse fixture away at Crabble Athletic. It was absolutely torrential rain. I remember getting absolutely soaked that day, and it was a goal from Jake Gray in the end that made the difference in a 1-0 win for Hampton and Richmond. It was a dubious goal, but I think Hampton and Richmond deserved it on that day, and hopefully they'll be deserving the 3 points that they hope to win today. To go through your teams once more, of course, one change for Hampton and Richmond. Dreyer entering the starting lineup to replace Rory Donaldson from midweek. In goal, Adam Desbois, Jordan Thomas, Louis Fernandez, Ben Seymour, your captain Jake Gray, Sam Deadfield, George Hunt, Sam Dreyer, Isaac Piplado, Mason Bloomfield and Dom Ravan. Your substitutes, Rory Donaldson, Rob Hall, Connor Curran-Brown, Shane Dunn and Josh Anafa-Wose. For the opposition today, Dover Athletic line-up as Matthew Rowley, Roman Charles Cook, Freddie Oliver, George Nickard, Bailey Akehurst, George Wilkinson, Charlie Naylor, Jacob Mensah, Luke Baptiste, Dante Stewart, Scott Holding, and their substitutes, Jaden Drakes Thomas, Kay Garrett, Henry Young, and Nick Dembele and Kay Neil Gray. The referee today is Dan England and his assistants, Imran Khan and David Payne. The teams are out on the pitch. Mel Gwinnett just giving handshakes and hugs to his players, one by one. Hunt, Deadfield, Seymour. It's the last home game of the season, and the Beverley is looking packed, helped by fantastic weather here today, and it would be the perfect end to what has been a quite majestic season at home for Hampton and Richmond. They are, of course, in a bit of a rut of bad results, but they'll be hoping to overturn that today against bottom of the league. Hampton and Richmond just switching sides here. The toss has been done, and they will be shooting, I think, into the sun for the first half. Hampton and Richmond, we shoot from right to left, and Dover Athletic from left to right as we watch on from this side. Jake Gray stands over the ball. It will be Hampton and Richmond to kick off and get us underway here. Desbois just sorting out his kit in his net, getting everything as he likes it. Referee completing the final checks. And it looks like Hampton and Richmond will be lining up with a 3 at the back here today. Fernandez, Piplado and Dreyer, with Thomas almost in more of a wing-back role, but perhaps that's just the starting. But Ravan is out on that far side on the right. And we have kick-off here. Louis Fernandez plays it long up to Mason Bloomfield. So turnover straight away. Naylor wins it back and Dover in possession, but Bloomfield charges that down well, and Seymour's looking to get on the end of that one. It's hoofed clear by Dover down this near side. Deadfield's under it to try and head it on. It's a bit of a scrap in the middle. Thomas comes out with the ball, plays it back to Piplado, who's just on the halfway line. Hampton and Richmond attacking down the left. Fernandez clears up a clearance from Dover, and it's all struggling to settle here at Beverley, but Seymour can flick it on to Gray here. He's entered the edge of the box on the left, passes it back to Seymour. Seymour takes a shot, and it's just blocked by number 16, Jacob Mensah, but it's really positive stuff from the Beavers in these opening stages of the match. It's a corner for Hampton and Richmond on this left-hand side, and it'll be Jake Gray who stands over this one. It's Jordan Thomas offering short, but Jake Gray doesn't seem too interested in that one. Raises a single arm to do with the timing. Arm goes down, ball goes in. It's cleared at the near post. Not the best delivery there, but Jordan Thomas will chase this one over the halfway line, sends it all the way back to Desbois. And this will probably be the first bit of calm we've had in this game so far. Desbois taking his time. He's not under any pressure, and he'll send that one long, looking for Bloomfield. Bloomfield takes it down and turns with it. He knocks it past the defender, and he's out on this left-hand side once more, just looking to play it in here, and Bloomfield just giving away a foul, I think, there on the left-hand side of the box, in fact. And there has been a rip in the process to one of the Dover players' shirts. I'm not sure whether it's almost quite fashionable, as though he's designed a bit of a new collar for himself there. And will be taken by the goalkeeper. It was a ripped shirt to Charles Cook there. the Dover right back, and it's an opportunity for Matthew Rowley to make his mark on the game, the Dover goalkeeper. He sends it long. Pip Blado's challenging. Fernandez gets it away in the end, but it's back with Dover in a dangerous position on their right-hand side. Nikaj has it right in the corner there. Jordan Thomas shielding that one, but Charles Cook sends in the cross. Pip Blado heads away. It comes out and it's headed on further by Gray, but it's taken down by number 12, Akehurst, and he plays it across to number 22, Baptiste. He's in the corner on that left-hand side for Dover now, and they can start to build their first real attack of the game. Number 14, Wilkinson, plays it out to that right-hand side. Hampton and Richmond doing well to deal with this so far, but the cross comes in, headed away by Fernandez. Seymour will chase down this one. Charles Cook on the end of it gets in a bit of confusion with his own teammate, and it's back in possession with Hampton and Richmond. Charles Cook gets back onto it and wins a foul there, just caught by Deadfield on the shin. Charles Cook remains down, but I think it was just a bit of impact there. His shin pads are quite low down, shall we say. And that, kids, is why we wear bigger shin pads. It's a free kick, though, to Dover in a fairly dangerous position. Just right of centre, outside the box. Not shooting range, but certainly range to whip in a good cross. It's Akehurst who stands over this for Dover. Plays it in towards the back post. Headed clear by Dreyer. Looks like it will go out for a corner. Kept in by Bloomfield. What's the decision? I think it is deemed to have gone out before Bloomfield got to it, and it will be the first corner of the match for Dover Athletic. It's out on their left-hand side, and it's their set-piece man, Akehurst, who will take this one again. Goes to place the ball down. Single arm raised. Plays it into the near post, headed on by Bloomfield, and there was a foul in there. Seymour's remaining down, but it will be a free kick to Hampton and Richmond. Pressure off, and a sigh of relief for the Beavers. That is, if Seymour makes a full recovery from this challenge. He's getting up rather gingerly, but I think he will be able to run this one off, hopefully. Bailey Akehurst, of course, the set-piece taker there for Dover Athletic. He has league experience with Gillingham, having made appearances for the league side. Finds himself at Dover Athletic, and in a bit of a troubling predicament for this team, who are set for relegation here. Desbois will take the goal kick, or free kick should I say. Send it long out towards the Hampton and Richmond left side, aiming towards Bloomfield. It's headed away by the Dover defence, and okay, I'm going to put the, and it has gone out for a throw-in to Dover Athletic on the right-hand side. Charles Cook will take this one, and I've got a little assistant here today who is going to help me out with some scores, but Dover Athletic are just on the attack here on this right-hand side. It's number 22, Baptiste, who will cross it in, but it's slightly long off to the left-hand side. It's collected by number 8, Freddie Oliver, who sends it back to Akehurst, and Akehurst has it on the edge of the box here. It's just well tackled by Ravan, and it's breaking for Hampton and Richmond. Jake Gray tries to punt it forward there, but it's blocked by the Dover defence. It's quite an open game here at the Beverly so far. Desbois just going to collect a loose ball and take control of that situation well, and Deadfield will play it back to Pip Blado. Any score updates?
Yeah. Yeovil 1-0 down to Dartford.
Okay, so the latest score in the National League South. Yeovil 1-0 down to Dartford, and they're not doing too well at the moment, but it is back in play here at the Beverly, and it's in the Hampton and Richmond defence. Played long by Desbois, out to the right-hand side where Bloomfield looking to get under it. Plays it out to Ravan. Gray tries to dink it over the top for Ravan to run onto. It might just be slightly over hit, and it is out for a corner there. A small contingent of the Dover fans are trying to make themselves heard here. And Charles Cook. It's another throw-in on this right-hand side for Dover. Dover just finding their way a little bit more into this match in these opening stages. And Pitblado heads away. Deadfield flicks it on, and Hunt's going to get under the return. And now Hampton and Richmond can attack here. Bloomfield plays it out to Ravan on that right-hand side. Ravan in control at the moment. Under pressure though, can he get the cross in? Takes it all the way to the corner, and it will be out for a goal kick here. The linesman was looking to give the corner, but the referee overruled him. We've got another score update.
Bath 1-0 up to
Torquay. Bath City have gone 1-0 ahead against Torquay United. How's that making the league look? Bath City, of course, overcame Hampton and Richmond midweek on Tuesday with a 1-0 win. They've gone 1-0 ahead already, and they're really cementing their playoff hopes now. It's a goal kick taken quickly by Dover, flicked on, and Stewart will try to close this one down for Dover, but Fernandez gets there first. Out to Thomas on this left-hand side, evades the first challenge, plays it up the line to Bloomfield, and it will be given as a free kick. No advantage deemed there.
Yeovil have just scored to make it 1-0 to Dartford.
Yeovil have equalised then in their fixture against Dartford. Back to form, they hope, there, and Pitblado will take this free kick out on the left-hand side for Hampton and Richmond. It is a 3 at the back for the Beavers. Pitblado playing the left-sided centre-back in the 3. He's right by the dugouts, just inside Hampton and Richmond's own half, but this one will look to go long. Only Fernandez and Dreyer remain back on the halfway line. Played up to Seymour, drops for Deadfield, scoops it into the box for Bloomfield, headed away, but only as far as Jordan Thomas on this left-hand side. Thomas evades the first player and plays it back to Gray, who swings in the cross first time, tries to find Bloomfield, just evades the jump of the striker, but George Hunt will make the run and send in another cross over the head of Seymour, up into the air. Bloomfield will challenge, Gray wins it back, scoops a shot and just sends it over the crossbar. He was off balance and struggling to get over that one, but it's a good passage of play once more for the Beavers, and they're looking to get an early goal in this fixture. Still waiting for this game to really settle here. Hampton and Richmond, of course, employing, as far as I'm aware, a new formation. Of course, wasn't here on Tuesday, but clearly feel a change needs to be made to mix up this new form. So Pitblado with the throw-in on the left-hand side. Flicks it up to Bloomfield, flicks it on, trying to find Thomas, but it's won back by Dover. It's flicked over, and Baptiste will try and chase this down. Dreyer's in a foot race, and Pitblado can just come across to send this back to Desbois. Dover Athletic bench feel there was a foul from Dreyer there, but it seemed to be pretty 50-50. He was certainly holding off Baptiste, but neither were on the ball at the time. Desbois take a goal kick here. Seems to just be under no pressure, in fact. And he'll play it long, out to Thomas. Thomas keeps it in, but Charles Cook wins it back. Deadfield intercepts his pass, back with Charles Cook, and it's all a bit scrappy. Neither team really being able to get control of the ball at the moment and string together any sizable amount of passes. Thomas with the throw in here. And plays it up to Bloomfield. Bloomfield just lets it run over his head, hoping that Naylor might have got the touch there, but it will be out for a goal kick. Seymour not quite able to get on the end of that one. Pretty even game so far. I think Hampton and Richmond have had the better of the chances and have been in the Dover box more, but not really looked like scoring yet. There's been chances, but crosses have usually been a bit too high or not quite as clear cut as you'd have hoped. Dover with a throw in now on the far side, attacking down their left-hand side. Try and go for a long throw here. Ravan gets under it, and Thomas just inside the Dover half will look to take it forward, but Charles Cook can intercept that one, and he sends it forward, tries to find his teammate, and does. Wilkinson now on the ball, plays it down to Baptiste on the right-hand side, and in a bit of a tussle with Fernandez, it does go out for a Hampton and Richmond throw-in on this left-hand side. Dover managing to win it back well and create turnovers, but not being able to do too much with them in the way of threat when they do win them. Hampton and Richmond struggling to retain possession, but when they have it, they're seeming to make it count in getting forward at the moment. Charles Cook with a throw-in on this right-hand side, right on the halfway line. Now I'm sure he'll run forward with that one. Throws it long, headed back infield, and Wilkinson will turn now. Combines well with Oliver, and Oliver will drive across field. Finds Akehurst out on that left-hand side. Akehurst clips it forward to Baptiste. Baptiste just pushed away by Dreyer and forced to go back towards his own half. Still on the ball though, and tries to play a 1-2 with Akehurst. It's intercepted, but it will go out for a Dover throw about halfway into the Hampton and Richmond half. Can the Whites string something together here? So thrown forward here into that corner. Baptiste tries to get on the end of it, but Ravan does just enough to see it out across the goal, the back line, and it will be a goal kick to Adam Dubois. Dubois in his customary full orange kit, skins despite the weather. Slightly tangerine looking number, and been such a crucial player for us this season, making so many important saves, and has been ever present for the Beavers this season. Of course, the injury to Alan Julian meaning he was ruled out, but Dover getting forward here, and Dreyer just putting it out for a goal kick. Away fans certainly wanted a corner there, but Dreyer did just enough. Could have been a dangerous break there, but Dreyer seemed to have it under control, and Dubois will reset for another goal kick. The Dover fans, in fairness, despite their relegation, certainly making themselves heard at the Beverly, and Dubois will play it long, tries to find Bloomfield. Bloomfield just nicks a touch on it to play it forward, but Dover win it back. Ravan now back in possession on that right-hand side, all a bit scrappy again. George Hunt trying to get in on the action. Adjudged to have given a foul away here, and it will be a free kick to Dover inside their own half, but right out on that left-hand side, and might have been another score update here.
Three new scores. There is.
It's clipped forward by the Dover Athletic keeper, but it's just over hit off the right hand side. Sorry, the Dover attack, and it will be a Hampton and Richmond throw on the left hand side.
Are 1-0 up. And then
Eastbourne Borough 1-0 up against Chippenham there.
Causeway are losing 1-0 to Bath.
Okay, and Torquay still losing 1-0 to Bath. Dover just trying to fashion some sort of attack here at the Beverly. It's played infield to Wilkinson, and sprayed out to Charles Cook, who's in space on the right-hand side for Dover Athletic. He'll play it out to Nikaj on the right-hand side, but it's an excellent tackle by Thomas, perfectly timed. He takes it back into contact though, and Nikaj has emerged with it yet again. Charles Cook now being harried by George Hunt, just managed to get away from him, but he doesn't manage to get away from Thomas, who plays it infield to Pit Blado, hoofs it clear up to the halfway line. Seymour tries to get on the end of it, neither him nor the defender could. Bloomfield trying to run onto it, hoof clear by the Dover defender, then back again by Thomas, and now Bloomfield has it about on the halfway line, plays it out to Ravan on that far right side. Jake Gray will look to chase it, but in the end it's collected by Matthew Rowley in goal in an all-pink fluorescent kit here. Really the battle of the bright goalkeepers at the Beverly. Sent forward to Nikaj on the halfway line. He'll look to play it out, and Dover starting to get it down on the ground a little bit more here. Played over the top, I say, and Fernandez flicks that one away from pressure, but Dover still in attack, and it's flipped back to Charles Cook on the right-hand side. He'll look to send the cross to the back post. It looked dangerous, but it was slightly overhit in the end, and Ravan can clear this one. Sends it up the way of Bloomfield, and Bloomfield's first touch is slightly heavy, but he manages to get it back, plays it to Thomas, who sends it back then to Desbois, and safety. Desbois will send it out towards the left-hand side, but it is overhit and over the dugout.
St Albans are drawing 2-2 to Worthing.
Loads of goals here in the St Albans versus Worthing fixture. Of course, this one important for the playoff hopes. It's 2-2 out on 21 minutes, so complete goal fest there, and so drawing at the referee there. So it's back in play, and Pip Blado looks to play it long, but just sees that one out of possession, and it's another goal kick to Adam Desbois. No clear chances. Jake Gray probably having the best of them with that shot, but it was off balance and not really a clear shot on goal. Sent it over in that one. There's been a couple of close headers, but neither quite meeting the heads. Now there's a bit of head tennis in the middle here inside the Dover half. It breaks for Nicage though. Excellent tackle by Deadfield to see that one out of play. And will be a throw in here to Dover on the right hand side. Charles Cook to take it short. Played back to Charles Cook. Jake Gray just not managing to make the challenge there. It goes into Oliver. He sends it long, but it's picked up by Desbois, who just way up his options here. He has the ball in his hands, rolls it out to Pip Blado on this left-hand side. Pip Blado sends it back to Desbois, and Desbois look to playing it long here. Plays it forward towards Seymour. Seymour can't quite make the header there, but Bloomfield's there to pick it up, chests it down. In possession still Bloomfield in about the centre of the Dover half. It's out to Ravan, but he just plays a pass that's slightly underweighted, and Baptiste looks to break forward. Dreyer makes the challenge and picks up a yellow card for his troubles. First yellow card of the match there. Dreyer going into the book. Not sure whether he needed to make that challenge or not, but he certainly stopped the attack of Baptiste. And it will be a free kick right on the halfway line, just inside the Dover half, in fact, out on their left-hand side. And we're back underway. Dover happy to keep it in their defence for now. It's quite an exciting game at this point. Flicked on over the top by the Dover attacker. It's number 23, Dante Stewart, but it is collected once more by Desbois. Lots of challenges and attempted headers, turnovers in the middle area of the pitch, but no one really challenging in the final third at the moment. Desbois sends it long, looking for Thomas to run onto. Hooked clear by Naylor in the end, and Deadfield will collect this one for a throw-in to Hampton and Richmond on the left-hand side. Drops it off, in fact, for Thomas to take. He's got options of Bloomfield, Deadfield and Gray. Gray will make the run now. Thomas isn't interested in that one. Lots of movement from Hampton and Richmond in the box, but Thomas doesn't see an option at the moment. Plays it into Gray in the end. Back out to Thomas on the left-hand side. Thomas can cross now. Plays it low. Seymour doesn't quite get on the end of that. It's blocked by Naylor and cleared then by Akehurst. Stewart is under this one. Pip Blado heads forward though, wins the challenge there, and Deadfield just looking to hook it out to Thomas on the left-hand side, but it's slightly overhit, and it will be a throw-in once more to Dover Athletic. And Charles Cook, a man in business here on the right-hand side, certainly required his service for plenty of throw-ins of Dover Athletic. Gray, though, wins it back in the midfield and hooks it forward for Bloomfield to run on. Holding will just watch that one out of play. Scott Holding, of course, formerly on the books of the Manchester United Academy. And Charles Cook with another throw-in from this right-hand side. Plays it long to trying to find Baptiste, but Pitblado clears, and Deadfield now on the ball, looking to link up with Bloomfield on this left-hand side. Bloomfield plays it in to Thomas, and quick 1-2 between those two. Back out to Hunt now. Nice football here from Hampton and Richmond. Deadfield just playing out to Thomas, cleared in the end by Charles Cook, but it will be a throw-in this time to Hampton and Richmond, an opportunity for Pitblado to start something off here. Deadfield is free in the centre, played in, flicks it on and tries to find Seymour. Seymour takes it down well, but a bit of miscommunication with Deadfield. Seymour still in possession though, on the left-hand side of the box, looks to play the cross, blocked by Charles Cook, and Charles Cook will emerge with this ball now. Plays it down the right-hand side, up to Stewart, who flicks it on to Baptiste. And Dreyer has to be careful here on a yellow card. Baptiste still has it, plays it up to Akehurst, who's on the edge of the box now for Dover. And George Hunt is back. Akehurst takes a shot, but it's directly saved by Adam Desbois. Fires straight at the Hampton and Richmond goalkeeper there. And Dover showing that they can prove dangerous when they're on the counter-attack. So certainly a quick flowing move from Charles Cook, having won it back in defence, playing it forward, and Stewart involved in that build-up. Baptiste getting on it, and then Akehurst with the shot just from the edge of the box. And ball went into the middle and bounced out back to Desbois there. Fernandez now in possession in defence, plays it out to Pitblado. Wonder how Mel Gwinnett sees this experiment in a back three. But Deadfield now has space to run towards the edge of the box. Chips it to Jordan Thomas, who looks to play it in. He hits the bar there. It was so close from the left back for Hampton and Richmond. Just tries to dink it over Matthew Rowley. Hits the underside of the bar and away and out, but Hampton and Richmond are back on the attack here. Ravan has it in that far right corner, just shielding it out of play, and wins the throw-in. Ravan takes the throw-in here to Jake Gray out on that right-hand side. Now we can cross it, trying to find Bloomfield. There's big appeals from the Hampton and Richmond massive for a handball, but it is cleared. Referee waves play on. It'll be interesting to watch that one back. It's happened quite fast in two clash of bodies, but we have another score update here.
Maidstone are 1-0 down to
Truro. So Maidstone here have gone 1-0 down away at Truro. Oh, that's a big one. Maidstone, of course, in the playoffs at the moment. Likely to remain there, but a bit of a dent in them hoping to get maybe a third or fourth in the playoffs, and in fact pushing for a second with Chelmsford City. Dover on the attack once more. Dreyer tries to take this one out, just stumbles as he does so, but it is indeed given as a foul, and Dreyer just winning a free kick there as he looked to take the ball out of the defence. Couple of Hampton and Richmond substitutes just going for a gentle jog down the touchline, sure, just keeping warm. Anna Fawos, Connor Curran-Brown, and Rob Hall all out of the dugout. Desbois will take this, though it's in the, of course, in the Hampton and Richmond half, but just outside that penalty box. Plays it forward, up to Bloomfield. He's in the penalty box, drops for Gray in the penalty box on that right-hand side. He twists and turns his way out the congestion, plays it to Ravan on the right, and he can drop it back for Dreyer to take the cross, but it is blocked at first attempt. And I think we have another score update here.
Western Supermare are losing 1-0 to Avonlea.
Western Supermare are 1-0 down to Aveley. That's a good goal for Aveley. That's important in their playoff hopes. Of course, important for Hampton and Richmond too. Dreyer sends a cross in from the right, flicked on by the Dover defenders. Naylor will chase this down on the other side, can't quite reach it in time, and it will be a Hampton and Richmond throw-in. Jordan Thomas taking advantage of the extra man there from Naylor's absence, and Thomas will take the cross here, plays it in, trying to find Bloomfield, but he just can't quite get over that one. It grazed his forehead and flew off the back line. In fact, it was kept in, and Dover will now look to go forward. It's headed back in, and Jake Gray has it on the right-hand side now. Plays it into Deadfield, back out to Gray, and Dreyer has it, sends it back to Pitblado, who's on the halfway line, just inside the centre circle here. Back out to Fernandez. Hampton and Richmond looking to construct another attack here. Fernandez plays it out towards that right-hand side, drops it back to Deadfield. And Deadfield tussling in the middle with Akehurst, and it is given as a foul to Dover here, much to the protest of the onlooking home crowd here at the Beverley. And not particularly threatening position, but Hampton and Richmond would have liked to keep their ground there. They were certainly building a bit of momentum here, the Beavers. A succession of chances. Jordan Thomas just clipping the underside of the bar there. And then the header from Mason Bloomfield, who's just not able to get over the top of that one. And saw that chance go, but it's been taken by Matthew Rowley, the Dover goalkeeper, and it's sent out towards the right-hand side, but Dover not quite able to keep that one in, and Pip Blado will take the throw-in on Hampton Richmond's left-hand side. Over the halfway line now, up to Mason Bloomfield, out for another throw-in that Deadfield will look to take quickly. Doesn't have the options, and so drops it to Pip Blado, just inside the Dover half now. Hampton and Richmond edging forward, looking to gain territory here, and Naylor heads that one out. Bloomfield, of course, real pivotal to Hampton and Richmond's efforts this season, and no less so in this game. Jordan Thomas, of course, making his mark since his return from injury too, and utilised here as a left wing-back today. Certainly managing to get forward. Not quite able to make an impact there though, just watched it go off the back line for a Dover goal kick, despite his best efforts. Sent forward here by Rowley from the goal kick. Pip Blado wins a header, sends it forward. Jake Gray nods it back down to Deadfield. Deadfield tries to play it into Seymour, finds Seymour, it's blocked by Naylor, and booted forward, trying to find the path of number 12, Bailey Akehurst. Can't quite do it because Ravan is there to stop it, and Ravan will take the throw-in on that right-hand side, plays it back to Dreyer. Headed forward by Dover midfielder, and looks like there was a bit of a high boot there on Fernandez as he went in for the header. It'll be a free kick to Hampton and Richmond on the halfway line, and a bit of shoving in the middle between Wilkinson and Deadfield. Wilkinson not willing to give up the ball despite the whistle having gone, and Deadfield just making his presence known, shall we say. Now Gray stands over this one. It's from range just inside the Dover half. Gray in fact stood inside the Hampton and Richmond half, set to take this one. Players lined up on the edge of the box. Gray swings this one in towards the back post. It almost looked like he was going to score himself, but no one could get on the end of it, and it will be a corner in fact. So a Dover defender must have got a touch on it, or it might have been the goalkeeper who didn't quite manage to catch it. The shoe's off in the box in fact, but it will be a corner on the left-hand side for Hampton and Richmond, and Jake Gray to take this one once more. Deadfield, marked by Wilkinson, will offer short. A line of Hampton and Richmond attackers on the edge of the box. Gray sends it into the back post. Dreyer down, cleared quickly by George Hunt, can get back onto it, and it's deemed a free kick. The whistle has gone, which means that Fernandez's late shot will not count. He did have it in the back of the net, but it was well after the whistle had gone. Quite a nice finish though from Louis Fernandez. Matthew Rowley stands over the goal kick, or the free kick. Just telling his players to get further forward. He wants to send this one long, and he will do, out towards the right-hand side, towards Nicage, but Pip Blado gets there first. Headed on by Oliver into Baptiste, who sends it back out to Nicage. This time Thomas gets the interception, but Nicage wins it back from the feet of Deadfield, looks to play the shot, and it's wayward to say the least, looping away from the goal, and it's not the contact that Nicage will have wanted to get on that one. Dover are getting forward, but aren't managing to deliver the final product. Akehurst with the best chance for the visitors so far, forcing a save from Adam Desbois, but it was comfortable for our seasoned shot stopper. Desbois sends it long out towards the left-hand side. Bloomfield back to try and get under that one. Naylor wins the header on that occasion. Nikaj looks to send it forward. Hunt is equal to him, sends it forward in return for Hampton and Richmond, and it's all a bit in and out at the moment in the middle, but Naylor trying to get the final touch. Deadfield blocks that one. It's still in the Dover half, and Deadfield is looking to get forward, pushed away by Nikaj, but Deadfield still in possession. He's got Pitblado in support. Pitblado now sends it into Thomas. A nice little triangle on the left-hand side for Hampton and Richmond. Pitblado on the overlap, sends in the cross. Seymour's there at the near post, but it's poked off the back line by Dover, and it's another corner to Hampton and Richmond. And it's another goal elsewhere in the National League South. Farnborough 0, Taunton Town 1. Of course, Farnborough challenging with us, and that's a really good result if it stays that way for Hampton and Richmond. And Jake Gray will take this corner towards the back post. Flicked in, saved well. Jordan Thomas has the rebound, saved again and blocked on the line almost. Jake Gray now on this left-hand side, whips it into the back post, trying to find someone there, but George Hunt just not managing to win that one back, and it trickles away over the back line. Feels like it's getting closer and closer for Hampton and Richmond, but at some point they're going to have to make these chances pay. And Matthew Rowley now in possession, plays it out to Charles Cook. Cook plays it up towards Nikaj, and now there's been a turnover and Deadfield has it back on the left-hand side. Jordan Thomas looking to play the cross. Substantial challenge there from Charles Cook, but he blocks it well, and it will be a throw-in to Hampton and Richmond on the left-hand side. It's quite high up. Jordan Thomas will look to take it. He's got Pitblado behind in support. Looking for Seymour, finds Deadfield instead, and it's out to Thomas again on the left-hand side. Charles Cook wins it back, just getting that in at his feet. He's going down in pain there, and he does win the foul. A really nice bit of skill, in fact, from Charles Cook, trying to play it out in that right back roll, just level with the edge of the box. So it'll be Matthew Rowley who jogs across in his bright pink kit to take this one. So another goal here in the National League South. Weston-super-Mare 1, Aveley 1. So that game now level. And Rowley sends it forward down the right-hand side for Dover. Bloomfield coming back to collect though, and Hampton Richmond just feeling a little bit more secure on the ball. Jordan Thomas doing really well to cut infield there, but Holding does well to cut it out, and Seymour can't quite retain possession. Stewart with it on the edge of the box here. Baptiste with possession, blocked well by Fernandez. Nikaj still in possession, lofts it towards goal, just trying to curl one round into the far corner, but it just goes over the bar, and Dubois will sigh a sigh of relief. Just curled over the crossbar on that occasion, and Dubois jogging over to collect that ball. But Dover are looking dangerous when they get forward quickly, and certainly challenging the Hampton and Richmond defence. A lot of work for the wing-backs to do. Jordan Thomas straight back from attack there, and Dover able to get those bodies forward, of course, with Hampton and Richmond. Just 3 centre-backs staying back. But Dubois does have the goal kick for now. Go long over the halfway line out towards the left-hand side. Jake Gray's under it. Flicks it on to Bloomfield. Bloomfield coming back, plays it into the path of Dreyer. Dreyer sending it forward to Gray on the edge of the box here. Gray has space, plays it into Ravan. Ravan will look to shoot, it's blocked, and Akehurst will come away with this one. Sends it out to the right-hand side for Nikaj, who look to cut in field, tries to find Stewart, but Pitblado's there to cut that one out, and Gray will now look to take this forward for Hampton and Richmond. Plays a nice through ball for Jordan Thomas, but it's just a bit too overhit, and Rowley can throw this one out to Charles Cook, who's in space. Ravan and Thomas swap sides now. Ravan on the left-hand side, Thomas on the right-hand side. Charles Cook looking to get forward, plays it to Nikaj on the right-hand side, just manages to keep it in. Pitblado with a foot. He thinks it went out and off the line, but it is in fact a throw-in right in the corner for Dover. Charles Cook taking his time over this one. Dover, I can imagine, will be fairly happy with the result, remaining level at 0-0. Faced plenty of attacks from Hampton and Richmond. Charles Cook looking to play this one long into the box. Piblado heads away. Charged down by Naylor, who plays it back out to Charles Cook on the right-hand side. He'll attack Deadfield here. Plays the ball into the far post. Headed away by Ravan. He's found Dover player free on the edge of the box. Plays it back to Naylor under pressure from Bloomfield. Back into Akehurst, who lost the cross in towards the edge of the box, and Dreyer can head away this time. Oliver now out on that left-hand side, plays it into Akehurst in the centre. Dover now with a chance to build something of their own. Back out to Charles Cook from the left, all the way back to the right. Thomas back defending on the left-hand side for Hampton and Richmond. And Charles Cook just beating him for strength, but Thomas there with pace to send it out for a corner to Dover. Take this off their right-hand side. Real only first bit really of prolonged possession here for Dover in this game, and Hampton and Richmond will be wanting to weather this one, see this out. Coming up to 45 minutes, nearly at half-time, and Hampton and Richmond might be disappointed to not have a goal here so far. Whistle goes. So looks like it'll be Akehurst to take this one. Played in towards the back post, and Desbois is there to catch it. Averts any fear of a shocked Dover goal there. Taking control of the penalty box, just catching that one from the air. Now, he won't rush this one, but he's under pressure from Stewart. Takes the kick long and sends it up to Bloomfield, who nod it forward. Seymour's chasing it down on the right-hand side of that box. Just played out by Holding, but it will be a corner up the other end here. Seymour has it on the ground, ready for Deadfield. The players make their way forward. Could this be a late goal for Hampton and Richmond in this first half? Deadfield, single arm raised. Plays it towards that near post, headed away at first, asking by Nakaj, but Gray will chase it down. Plays it all the way back to Deadfield. What can Hampton and Richmond fashion here? Plays it long, all the way up, looking for Fernandez on the edge of that box. Both Bloomfield and Fernandez up to challenge for that one. An awkward bounce for Hunt to deal with, but plays it back for to Desbois calmly. He's under pressure from Nakaj, sends it up. Wilkinson and Piblado under this one. Wilkinson jumping over Piblado more than anything, but Piblado emerges with the ball. And he's in that traditional left-back spot at the moment. Plays it back to Fernandez, and Hampton and Richmond just comfortable to keep it in their defence for now. Desbois on the ball here. Desbois almost stepping up to make the fourth defender in that back three for outletting purposes, and Piblado will now send this forward to Mason Bloomfield. He's in the centre of the pitch, just outside the centre circle. Plays it across to George Hunt, and Hampton and Richmond find themselves with more space in the middle here. George Hunt playing it out to Thomas on the left-hand side. Thomas into Deadfield, kicked away by Holding, but Piblado's under chase. Stewart comes out the better, but Fernandez will get there, and Fernandez falls over, and Stewart now through on goal here. What can Desbois do? And he does enough, sees it onto the far post, and Dreyer will chase this one out. Dreyer looking to clear this one from the left-hand side. And what a stop from Desbois, doing just enough to see the chance from Stewart onto the far post. It looked nervy for Hampton and Richmond, but they'll now break forward, and Seymour has it on the left-hand side of the box, crosses it, so close, so tempting, but Bloomfield can't quite get there. Ravan will chase this on the right-hand side, out to Gray. Deadfield in space on the edge of the box here, takes it away from two defenders. Nikar's just getting a nick on it there, and Hunt will chase this one down. Back to Deadfield in the middle. Shouts from Mel Gwinnett on the touchline here. Certainly tensions rise at the Beverly. chances at either end in quick succession. And it's just settling down a little bit more, but we are getting ever closer to the halfway point of this fixture. Pitblado in possession here in defence, but just inside the Dover half. Out on this left-hand side, level with the Dover dugout. And plays it back to Fernandez, who'll just take this one over the halfway line. Plays it up to Seymour, who just flicks it round for Thomas on the edge of the box, but Charles Cook will punt that one clear. Fernandez hoofing that one in the air, and Charles Stewart just challenging for that one and giving away a foul on Pitblado. The referee, Dan England, wants a word with Stewart here. He sees that jump as just a little bit too dangerous and over the top of Pitblado. Adam Dubois now out of his goal, almost level with the Hampton and Richmond dugout, right out on this left-hand side here. Dubois sends it forward out towards the edge of the box. Bloomfield under it. And George Hunt looking to get on the knock down, but it's sent forward into the path of Baptiste. Dubois is out of his box, he'll have to clear it, he does. Pitblado heads forward and Deadfield can get on the end of it. Nicks it out to Thomas just in time, who sends it back into the centre for Jake Gray, and Jake Gray can get forward here. Tries to find a way through, it's blocked by Jacob Mensah, but Gray is still in possession here. Plays it out to Thomas on the left-hand side. He tries to curl one round the corner for Seymour, but can't quite find the path of the Hampton and Richmond striker, and it's cleared all the way back to Pitblado to pick up almost off the back line of Hampton and Richmond, and Fernandez will play the ball back to Dubois now. He's looking to send it long. Chooses instead the option out left to Pitblado. He'll send it forward to Bloomfield, and Hampton and Richmond doing much better to just string passes together and keep it on the ground. George Hunt shakes his head, slightly wayward pass meant for Fernandez, went to Dubois instead. Slightly risky, in fact, could have been cut out by Stewart, but Dubois will send this forward, looking for Bloomfield on the edge of the box. Gray in pursuit now as it just squiffs off to the right-hand side, and Dover will have a throw-in on their right-hand side. Naylor now down in some pain in the box, and the referee just called a bit of a break here for Naylor. He won't require any medical treatment, however. Certainly is a lot warmer than we might have experienced so far this season, and plenty of water bottles being handed out to both sets of players. It will be a throw-in to Dover on their right-hand side. It'll be Charles Cook once more to take this one. Throws it long, trying to find Nakaj, but can't quite do it, and it will be another throw-in on the right-hand side for Dover. Dover managers just taking their time and giving it back, keeping hold of it among themselves. They certainly want to see this half out at 0-0. Charles Cook plays it forward, and Deadfield in the challenge there. I think it will be another throw-in, this time on the Hampton and Richmond dugout. And Dover doing all they can to delay. James Conley coming up with the ball there, and Charles Cook sending another throw-in long, trying to find Stewart. Jordan Thomas there, but Baptiste is on the end of it right in the corner. Takes it to the corner, in fact, tussling with Pitblado in that corner. It's just out for yes, another throw-in on this right-hand side. This one right in that corner, but the whistle has gone, and it is half-time here at the Beverly. It ends 0-0 this first half of action. The two real chances, one for Bloomfield when he couldn't quite get on the top with a header, it just skewed off his head and out for a goal kick. And the other when Ben Seymour sent a tempting ball across the face of goal. And yet again, Bloomfield not quite able to get on the end of it, but that second half of the first half certainly looked more promising for the hosts, and they'll hope to continue that dominance in the second half. We'll go for a quick break here and join you again in the second half.
Please welcome to the field your Hampton and Richmond!
Welcome back to this second half of action here at the Beverly.
Coming through to you.
The scores remain tied at 0-0. Neither side has made a breakthrough as yet. The teams are just coming back out. Both of them will hope to make the breakthrough. Of course, Hampton and Richmond almost need a win here today to retain hopes of finishing in the playoff spots. They've come closest so far. Jordan Thomas hitting the crossbar in about the middle of the first half, just grazing the underside of the bar, but it bounced back out and the rebound couldn't quite find the back of the net. Chances as well for Mason Bloomfield. He's not quite been able to get on the end of a header that just scuffed the top of his head and flew out across the box. And also just a tempting cross from Seymour was just too far ahead of our number 26. This, of course, if Hampton and Richmond don't manage to find the breakthrough, will mean that Dover have their first 3 games undefeated on the bounce since Christmas. Not something that Hampton and Richmond will want to be able to add to those stats, but Dover so far have looked dangerous when they've got forward. Akehurst with the best of their chances, probably with a shot on target that Desbois saved comfortably. But they have looked dangerous on the break. We're joined by Juliet Anderson in the second half to update us with some of the scores from across the National League as we go. And the teams back out and ready and set to go. It's Dover who will kick us off in this second half of action. Hampton and Richmond shooting from left to right as we look on, and Dover from right to left in this second half. No changes to note at half-time, but we are back underway. Oliver spraying the ball out to Charles Cook on that far right-hand side for Dover Athletic. Sends it forward, but Pit Blado is equal to it, and Deadfield now back on the ball. Plays it forward, and Seymour's back to collect it on the halfway line. Dover player remains down, but he looks okay, and Jordan Thomas will take this one in his stride now. Looks to cut inside, tries to play into Jake Gray, who finds his 5 almost free in the box, but his first touch is a little too heavy, and Dover will now look to break, but George Hunt has other ideas. Gets in the way of that one, and Dreyer can clear that one up and just sweep it back into the path of Adam Desbois, who will punt this one forward. Up to Oliver, who nods it back to Stewart, and Dover will look to fashion some sort of attack here. Baptiste on the left-hand side. Baptiste looking to get forward, but Dreyer stopping him there. Of course, Dreyer, the only player to have received a yellow card so far in this match. Defender needs to be careful. It's Akehurst with the throw-in on the left-hand side for Dover. Ravan coming out with it, and Dreyer will send that one forward up to Bloomfield just over the halfway line. Seymour seeing that one through, and it's a necessary clearance before Bloomfield could have got on the end of that one. It's all a bit scrappy in the middle once more. Oliver sending that one into the air. Nicard will look to play it down, but Deadfield just doing enough to allow Hunt in to clear that one up, and Desbois now in possession. Looks to send it long up to Ravan on the right-hand side. Cleared once more by Dover and lifted into the air. Stewart receives but is offside. And Fernandez just keeping his line well with that back three and sends it back to Desbois after taking the free kick quickly. And Hampton and Richmond with a bit of time on the ball here now. Pit Blado taking it over the halfway line, sends it out to Thomas. Rolls back into Fernandez in the Hampton and Richmond half. Out to Pit Blado far on that left-hand side. He'll play a cross pass to Ravan on the edge of the box on the right-hand side. Shooed away by Akehurst, but just managing to win the free kick, in fact, I think. Akehurst in that bottom corner for Dover, and again, Dover just making this game quite scrappy for Hampton and Richmond. Difficult to get sustained periods of play.
We do have a score update. Braintree just scored the first of their game against Hampton and Waterlooville. It is now 1-0 in the 51st minute.
Awesome, and of course Braintree in the playoff positions here today. Stewart looks to flick it forward as Dover are back in possession, but no one's there to run onto it, and Desbois will happily collect that one in his box. just rolls it out for Fernandez, and Hampton and Richmond looking to play it down on the ground a little bit more in this second half. Piblado just evading pressure by Nikaj there to send it back to Fernandez. Fernandez can take it forward. Relatively little pressure though. Stewart will start to apply it now. Hampton and Richmond just edging towards their own half, the Dover half, and Bloomfield now played in with a pass. Plays it out to Thomas. They're almost level with the box here, and Charles Cook wins that one back. Plays it into Naylor, who'll play it long, but Piblado's up to head that one back. Gray sending it forward to Thomas, back to Hunt in the middle, and Hunt can look to gain some control of this ball here, sending out to Ravan on the right-hand side. He'll look to play up to space on that right-hand side, and Seymour's in chase, just manages to keep it in. Doesn't... Ooh, I don't think he did, in fact. It is flagged for a goal kick. Look very close on that byline there, but it will be a goal kick to Matthew Rowley. Right out on the left-hand side of the Dover attack. Hampton and Richmond are struggling for chances here. Haven't really been able to execute what we know is good goal scoring form here at the Beverley, but struggled in the last few matches and struggling again here today. Dover just proving the obstacle to their hopes of a goal. It's out for a throw-in though, and it will be Ravan to take on this right-hand side, almost level with the halfway line here, right down below us in commentary position. Sent on long. Naylor looking to clear that, can't quite manage it, and Bloomfield can break into the box here. He's free in the box, just takes a heavy touch across to Deadfield, and Deadfield charged down by Charles Cook. Thomas sends it back in. Gray trying to get on the end of it. It all got a bit scrappy in the end. It's sent out to Ravan, who heads it down to no one really, and Dover will emerge with this one. Sent clear down this left-hand side, for Dover, and Stewart will pick this one up. Just forced back into his own half, and Gray has won this one back, but he's in a battle with Akehurst, and it's Akehurst who emerges with it. Gray looks to be in a bit of pain here, but Naylor will surge forward here through the midfield from a defensive position, plays it out to Charles Cook, and looks to get forward himself. He's level now with the box, plays the cross in, blocked by Piblado. Naylor really been a force in the Dover defence so far this game. Charlie Naylor, of course, spent 4 years in America with the West Virginia Wesleyan College prior to his move to Dover. And Charles Cook just taking a throw-in on that far side, on the right-hand side of the Dover attack, just inside the Dover half. Lofted forward, Piblado with the headed clearance, not quite as clear as he'd have liked, and Nikaj can get onto it. Still in that corner, right-hand side. But Thomas does just enough to watch that one out for a goal kick, and Desbois can take this one and restore a bit of calm into the Hampton and Richmond defence. Have to say, despite the sunny weather, it is still quite windy up here. Desbois plays it long. Bloomfield challenging for it, and it will be a throw-in on that left-hand side. Thomas to take about halfway into the Dover half, looking for options around the edge of the box, and he finds Deadfield. Deadfield just holding off Nikaj here. A physical presence that Nikaj has been so far in his tussles with Deadfield, but it's played back out to Fernandez, about on the halfway line here.
We have another score update as Chelmsford is securing their place in second. They just scored in the 53rd minute, and they are playing Tonbridge.
So Chelmsford City ahead at Tunbridge Angels there. Or is it they at home? Sorry. But yeah, probably an expected result there, but Chelmsford, of course, did lose to our opponents here today, Dover, and it's Hampton and Richmond back in possession. Ravan looking to play it forward, headed clear by Naylor once more, and Dreyer challenging for the ball on the halfway line. There's bodies flying everywhere, but it's George Hunt who emerges with it. Naylor there to make the interception, and he's been key for this Dover team. Bloomfield challenging from behind, and referee has deemed that he just took the legs of the Dover player instead of the ball, and it will be a free kick and a card for Bloomfield. And that card will be yellow. It's Wilkinson who stands over this one. The ball placed in the centre circle just inside the Hampton and Richmond half. Sprays it out to Akehurst, who's on the halfway line on the left-hand side of the Dover attack. He spreads it across to the right-hand side when Akaj waits on the edge of the box, but Thomas wins it back and Pitblado hoofs it forward. No one under it. But certainly territory gained for Hampton and Richmond. It's out for a throw-in to Dover, and it will be Charles Cook to take it on that right-hand side inside the Dover half. How is the table looking at this point? Any changes in the positions?
Maidstone is still down 2-0, so they are in the 5th spot, still securing one of those playoff spots, which means both Braintree and Worthing have both moved up a spot. And Hampton and Richmond right now with our draw is in 7th place. We have taken the spot of Farnborough, who's down 1-0.
Of course, yeah, Farnborough down 1-0 at the moment, meaning that Hampton and Richmond currently have gained a spot into the playoffs, but will of course want to cement that a little further with a win here today if possible. Positive result though to see Farnborough 1-0 down. Play is going on, but it's all happening down that right hand side, and it's a bit of back and forth at the moment. Pitblado largely sending it forward. Gray almost breaking clear there, but it's cleared once more by the Dover defence, and Akehurst look to get onto this one. Plays it forward to Baptiste, and Dreyer just taking that one out over the back line. And out for a goal kick. Just did enough there to shepherd Baptiste out of play with the ball. And Dreyer having a pretty good match despite being on a yellow card here at the Beverley. And Desbois will look to play this goal kick long. Sends it forward, trying to find Bloomfield. Naylor gets there. It's back to Holding, who will look to play it long. Pitblado up to challenge, wins the header from Nikaj, and Thomas does well to turn away from Charles Cook. He's got the better. And Charles Cook just looking to push him from behind there. It's deemed okay by the referee, and Charles Cook will break away down the right-hand side for Dover. It's held back by Deadfield, and back into Wilkinson here. Charles Cook breaking free, tries to play the cross in, but the end product isn't good enough, and Fernandez will see that one clear. It will be, though, a throw-in for Dover on that right-hand side, and Charles Cook, after his efforts, will jog back to take that throw-in. Plays it short to Wilkinson, back out to Charles Cook. And he knocks it back to Holding, who plays in the cross. Stewart just being held by Fernandez there, but it's not enough contact, and Desbois can catch that one quite comfortably. And has the ball in his hands here now. Hampton Richmond will need to inject a bit more impetus into this match if they're hoping to get the full 3 points. At the moment, they've not really had a chance on goal in this second half. Desbois plays it long up to Jake Gray on that left-hand side of the box. Thomas back to pick up the clearance, looks to take the shot, it's deflected, but Holding then blocks the deflection and sends it forward up to Stewart. Fernandez wins the header, tries to play it back to Nikaj, and he exchanges a 1-2 with Wilkinson. Still on that right-hand side for Dover, switched across to Akehurst on the left, but he can't quite stop the cross-field pass. It will be out for a throw-in to Hampton and Richmond, and Dominic Ravan will take this on the right-hand side, back in to Dreyer in defence, and across to Fernandez, and Hampton and Richmond back with possession. Thomas just being set free down that left-hand side, plays it into Seymour, who turns well. Thomas back again on that left-hand side, plays in the cross, trying to find Bloomfield, can't quite find it. Looked like Ravan could get on it at the back post, But once more it's cleared by Dover, and it's been a resolute display in defence from the visitors so far. It is a throw-in though that Dominic Ravan will take on the right-hand side. High up in the Dover half, almost level with the edge of the box. Throws it to Gray, back out to Ravan. Ravan looking for the cross, can't quite find it, plays it back to Gray. Gray now looking to play infield, dinks it for Dreyer to play a short cross, and it's cleared at the near post by Akehurst. And, punted forward for Fernandez to chase after. An awkward bounce, but he takes that one down well, just back inside the Hampton and Richmond half now. Beavers have been forced out by some good pressing from Dover, headed clear by Mensah, up to Wilkinson, and now Hunt has possession, but not for long as it's nicked away from him and Stewart's back on it. Hunt wins it back and then is fouled in the process by Stewart, and it will be a free kick to Hampton and Richmond and an opportunity to get the ball in the box once again. Deadfield to stand over this dead ball situation. It's inside the Dover half, out centre right, just level with the dugout for Hampton and Richmond. And it's Fernandez, Dreyer, Bloomfield, Seymour, all lining up on the edge of the box. Thomas out on that far left. It's Gray who will now jog over to take his position over the ball. Deadfield now getting forward with the others. Pitblado and Desbois, the only further back than Gray. Gray slips as he takes it, doesn't quite get the height on it. It's cleared by the first man, but George Hunt is on the rebound and sends in the cross, headed clear by Naylor. And Deadfield's under it, but it's headed on by Baptiste to Stewart. And Stewart, surrounded by three blue shirts here, looks to get forward, finds Nicage on the overlap, and Nicage will take this into the box, takes the shot, but it's whipped straight at Desbois. And another comfortable save for the Hampton and Richmond keeper. Cleared long, and Seymour now can look to get on the end of this. He's managed to take it down well, and he's on the edge of the penalty box. Cuts away from a challenge. Ravan with the cross in, trying to find Bloomfield, headed down by Holding this time, and out for a Hampton and Richmond corner. And Deadfield is being called back here. I'm not sure whether this is dissent here, but it will be a yellow card, I think, for the Hampton and Richmond midfielder. Baptiste and Deadfield both with the referee here. I don't know if it'll be a yellow card for both or one or the other, but there's certainly some words being had. And I think it'll be a yellow card for both. Baptiste and Deadfield both awarded a card there by referee Dan England. But the corner still stands for Hampton and Richmond as Deadfield, having received the yellow card, jogs over to take it. And Deadfield, single arm raised. Steps up to take it, tries to play it into the back post. Headed back, Hunt back into the mixer. Dreyer plays it down, shouts for a penalty. Bloomfield on the turn, it's cleared again. It's all a bit of a mess, but it's the referee is pointing to the corner for another go for Hampton and Richmond. And if anything, it looked like we potentially could have had a goal there, but it's more resolute defending from Dover. There were shouts for a penalty somewhere amongst the melee. But Deadfield now, take two. Whips it into that back post. Header, and it's a goal! Isaac Pitblado has the breakthrough for Hampton and Richmond. A really well-positioned cross from Deadfield to the back post, and it's on a plate for Pitblado to head into the back of the net, and that resolute defending for Dover has been undone. It's the centre-back in the new back three that's made the difference. And should Hampton and Richmond manage to cling on to this one, this will secure, for now, a position in the playoffs.
And it seems that things are happening all over the league. We've had 3 updates. Havant and Waterlooville just got the equalizer, so it is now 1-1 against Braintree. So Maidstone goes back to 4th, or up to 4th. Braintree down back to the 5th spot, which is where they started the day. And Eastbourne Borough just scored again.
Back underway here, but it sounds like results elsewhere in the league are going Hampton and Richmond's way, as is the result here at the Beverley, as Hampton and Richmond now lead 1-0, and it's a crucial goal in what could be a crucial game in their playoff attempts. George Hunt straight to Harry Wilkinson here, and Oliver clears that one up, sends it across to Charles Cook, but Jordan Thomas right back on it, and, or should I say left back on it, and just chasing the ball straight away. Of course, most likely to concede when you've just scored. There's always that cliche, but it is true, and Charles Cook looks to take the throw-in off that right-hand side. George Hunt and Thomas, clearly adrenaline in the Hampton and Richmond players. Hopefully they can use it to their advantage. It's a foul given the way of the Beavers. Bloomfield winning that one, and it's just inside the Hampton and Richmond half. And they can use this to get control of the game once more, to calm it down, to settle some initial adrenaline, and just make this game their own. They've got a grounding to push on from here, and wouldn't it be nice to end the final home game with a win at the Beverley?
So that goal keeps Hampton and Richmond in 7th, but they are now 3 points above Farnborough, who are still down 1-0.
Really good result if Farnborough stay 1-0 down in that match for Hampton and Richmond. An even better result if Hampton and Richmond remain 1-0 up here. Gray trying to play in Seymour, headed away by Mensah, but it is out for another corner, and it's the same corner that Hampton and Richmond benefited from last time. A right-hand side, and it's Gray who jogs over to collect this one. Throws it to Deadfield. He'll offer the short option. Well, Jake Gray, and Deadfield, another. What can he deliver this time? Single hand raised. Plays it in to that back post. This time Matthew Rowley is keen to it, and he's there to collect it from the air and set Charles Cook free down the right hand side here. Charles Cook just looking for options, but Hampton and Richmond have got back well, and Jordan Thomas is there to collect the pass he sent towards Stewart. Devois sending it long then as he's played the ball back, but so long that it ends up all the way back with Matthew Rowley in his fluorescent pink. He plays it into Mensah and out to Akehurst on this left-hand side, and Baptiste now plays it infield towards Wilkinson. Wilkinson out to Akehurst, and Akehurst back to Mensah on the halfway line. Seems to be doing some skills under no pressure there, Mensah, but entertaining for us all. And Deadfield just doing enough to win the throw-in for Hampton and Richmond inside their own half on the right-hand side, and it will be Ravan to take this one. Some choice words here. Dover not happy. Deadfield was holding back the Baptiste there, but the yellow card, of course, Deadfield already on a yellow card, but this time the yellow card goes to the Dover bench. Manager Jake LaBelle, new since Hampton and Richmond last faced Dover, and not quite been able to do enough to avoid relegation for a team that are 10 points adrift at the bottom of the league. Dominic Ravan with another throw-in on this right-hand side here. This time further up the pitch, inside the Dover half, plays it up to Mason Bloomfield. Kept in by Akehurst, who sends it forward, but Fernandez heads clear up to Deadfield, headed back by Akehurst. And Baptiste challenging for it, and this time he wins the free kick, which Akehurst will take quickly, looking for Nickage. Pip Blard over there to make a crucial intervention, and he sends it forward to Thomas on the halfway line. He plays it across to Deadfield. Deadfield back into Fernandez on the centre circle, just inside the Hampton and Richmond half. He plays it out to the goal scorer, Pip Blardo, who evades Nickage and finds a bit of space for himself and a bit of space for Deadfield, who he plays it to. And Seymour now on the edge of the box. Plays it through to Gray, who will cross the back post, slightly overhit, and Ravan can't quite keep that one in, and it will be a goal kick to Dover Athletic.
No impact in the top 7, but Slough did just score, so they are leading 2-1 against Hemel Hempstead.
good. That's good. Good updates and perfect pronunciation on that one.
I try, it's a challenge. They're a little bit different than U.S.
I can imagine.
Football teams.
Some of these names are pretty tough.
I do apologize to our listeners if I pronounce any teams wrong.
I struggled with Arkansas for a long time, so it is just spelled Arkansas. But Bloomfield is back on the ball here. Akefield making the interception though, and Dover, the Whites, do come away with it down their right-hand side. Nicage on the ball once more. But Pit Blado just shielding them away. They're scooped in, and Baptiste has an opportunity at the back post. Can't quite find the angle, and takes it instead to the edge of the box. Plays it into Akehurst. Quick 1-2 there. Baptiste back with it on the edge of the box. Plays it out to Naylor, and Naylor plays it out to Charles Cook on that right-hand side. Whips one in, back to Baptiste. Heads it back across goal, and not quite finding a Dover attacker to attack it, in fact, but Charles Cook is back in possession on that right-hand side of the box, and Akehurst can play this one in here, and it's a whipped volley, but it's on the turn, and it's just wide by Nicage. Starting to look a little more threatening here, Dover, as they make their way back into the game. That chance just making some in the Beverly hold their breath in anticipation, but he never really made that connection to clip it in inside the far post there, Nicage, and sails past.
2 goal updates. League leaders Yeovil are now, they just added another one, so they are up 3-1. And Worthing just scored another, so that is 6 goals in their game. 4-2, Worthing is up now.
Wow, so some big results there. Yeovil, of course, having gone 1-0 down, back up 3-1 in that game. They're overturning a poor run of form. Worthing, another team with some good form at the moment. Seymour on the ball now, though, for Hampton and Richmond inside the Dover half. Looks to play in George Hunt on the left-hand side of the box. He's found space, can clip it into Bloomfield, plays it across to Gray. Gray will look to shoot, but he just hits it wide of that far post. Didn't have much time, but you'd have hoped he got it on target there. Hampton and Richmond looking a little more dangerous when they do get forward here. And Dover just looking to get away here. Stewart plays it down, but it's collected by Deadfield and clipped out by Nicage. Throw in to Hampton and Richmond. But first, we will have the first substitution of the game, and it will be for the visitors, Dover Athletic. Will be Nick Dembele coming on for Dante Stewart, who has seen many of the attacks go through him in this second half. Stewart quite pivotal to many attack, and the Dover management clearly feeling that a change here can really spark some intent in the hope of an equaliser for the visitors here. Ball played forward from the throw-in from Pit Blado up to Bloomfield, back in to Jake Gray. Bloomfield doing well to take that one down. Pit Blado plays it forward, looking to curl one into the path of Seymour. It's Rowley that's out, and he doesn't quite catch it at first asking, but Seymour's not quite close enough to take advantage, and Rowley has it back in his possession. Dover will look to attack quickly here now, but it's cut out by Fernandez, and George Hunt is in possession to take it over the halfway line. Plays it across to Jordan Thomas in the left. Hunt will take down a rogue deflection of Thomas's pass and play it out to Ravan on that right-hand side. That again takes a deflection, and it's Hunt again who's looking to bring that one down. Does so and finds Deadfield, who plays on forward, trying to find Jake Gray, making a run on that left-hand side. Can't quite manage it. And Charles Cook will now break away down the right-hand side for Dover. Can he put something on a plate for the substitute Dembele? Instead, he plays it back out to the number 8, Freddie Oliver. And Wilkinson will now play it back into holding in defence. Looks to switch play out to the left-hand side, but it's well overhit. And Akehurst was never getting on the end of that one. Instead, it will be a throw-in for Dominic Ravan. Right, deep inside the Hampton and Richmond half. There's a number of academy graduates on the field here today for Dover Athletic. Oliver, Wilkinson, Baptiste, all promoted from their academy internally. All playing fairly well here today. But of course, Hampton and Richmond are the team on top and will hope to remain that way. It's Dover Athletic in possession though, and Dembele just holding up the ball well, plays it back to Wilkinson. Out to Charles Cook, who cuts in field from that right-hand side. Looks to play it out to Nikaj. Those two forming quite a partnership, but Piplado dealing with them awfully well. Almost as well as he took his goal. And it is back out with Nikaj. He'll play it across to Naylor, who has space on the edge of the box, but his shot is charged down by George Hunt, and now Hampton and Richmond will look to break. Hunt's found space for himself and can get forward. Ravan is there on the overlap, offering support. That support is used, but his cross is wayward and just over the top of the goal. Was a new ball being signalled for by the referee here.
And Braintree are now back up to 4th as they just scored again in the 78th minute, so it is now 2-1. Braintree up.
Braintree, of course, looking to secure their place in the playoff spots. Hampton and Richmond weren't too far away from them a couple of games ago, but have slipped with a recent run of poor form. But hopefully this game will get them back on track. Remains 1-0 here at the Beverly as we enter once more the closing stages of the second half, and Hampton and Richmond pushing, if anything, for a second here. Piplado plays it long into the feet of Bloomfield. Bloomfield just knocking it back to Piplado. Of course, Hampton and Richmond will want to bolster their goal difference if they can. They're only one at the start of this match. They're only separated by 1 goal difference from Farnborough. Of course, that's all changed given Farnborough are currently 1-0 down, but it'd be nice to have a bit of a cushion on the goal difference front. It is a free kick here though to Hampton and Richmond, an opportunity to do just that. Jake Gray taking this from the left-hand side, whips it in. Dreyer is there, but just falls over, and Mensah now will look to clean this one up. He's under pressure from George Hunt right in the left-hand corner, and sends it out under pressure for a throw-in. James Comley just taking the opportunity to do a few keepy-uppies on the sideline as he waits for Ravan to get back to take the throw-in. On the right-hand side, just inside the Dover half. So a long throw towards Bloomfield, headed away by Akehurst, but on Dembele on the end of it. It's Deadfield who challenges for it now. Wilkinson clearing it. Dreyer back up the other way. Naylor taking it down, trying to find Oliver. Shouts for handball, not given. And now Nikaj looks to be free on goal. Takes the shot, but it's blocked superbly by Piplado. And that intervention almost as crucial in the defensive end as it was his goal in the attacking end. Superb sliding challenge from Isaac Piplado to stop the shots of Nikaj there. Desbois now safely has the ball in his hands. It's been a superb performance from Piplado today, the real hero of the match for Hampton and Richmond so far. And Desbois' goal kick is long and headed away and not clear once more by Nikaj, but Fernandez will get there first, heads it forward, trying to find it. And now free kick has been given, I think, for Jake Gray just holding Oliver down there. Dan England stops play to give a free kick. It will be Mensah who looks to take this forward, the Dover captain, over the halfway line. Plays up to Wilkinson, who plays a raking ball forward to Nikaj, and Thomas forced into another sliding clearance there. And the run of Nikaj really challenging this Hampton and Richmond defence in these later stages of the match. It will be a corner to Dover Athletic. And it's Akehurst who's wandering over to the right-hand side to take this one for Dover. It's a chance for them to get back on level terms. Hampton and Richmond have all their players back in their box. sign of what it means to keep this lead. Corner is taken out towards the back post, tipped across the box by Desbois, and it's Holding that will chase this one. It will be a throw-in. Can't quite get there, but it will be a throw-in on the left-hand side for Dover. Another chance to attack the Hampton and Richmond box. Holding not keen with the prospect of taking that throw-in himself, and instead waits for Akehurst to make his way over all the way from that opposite corner to take this one off the left-hand side. Akehurst takes the throw, plays it short to Baptiste, but it comes straight back out to Akehurst and to Wilkinson. Wilkinson dinks one over, but it's Deadfield there to clear it. Holding looks to get on the end of it, plays it across to Naylor, still in the Hampton and Richmond half, all the way back out to Mensah in the centre circle. But he plays it forward to that left-hand side where Akehurst is making a run. He tries to play the cross first time, and it was a bad idea in the end. The execution not up to standard, and instead a looping ball is sent over the goal and out for a goal kick to the relief of Hampton and Richmond. Desbois will just wander over to take that one. He's under no hurry. Hampton and Richmond with a fairly comfortable looking 1-0 lead at the moment, but of course we know how fragile those 1-0 leads can be. It takes one mistake and they're gone.
Farnborough have now dropped down to 9th as Avely are winning 2-1 now. So they started the day in the last playoff spot, and as of right now, Farnborough are in 9th.
And how close does that put Avely to Hampton and Richmond in 8th position?
They are now 2 points behind Hampton and Richmond. So started the day on 67, they are now on 70.
Hampton and Richmond, of course, also with a game in hand on most of these teams, so it's looking like a good set of results for Hampton and Richmond in their playoff hopes today. Dominic Ravan with a throw-in on the right-hand side now, right on the halfway line. He'll look to throw it long into Mason Bloomfield. Akehurst with the header clear, and George Hunt just in a battle for the ball there, and Dembele comes away with it. Tries to play in Charles Cook on that right-hand side, and Dover will look to get forward in their numbers, but Charles Cook can't quite keep it in on that far right-hand side. Instead, Pip Blardo will have the throw-in on the left-hand side for Hampton and Richmond, about level with his own box. Some tactical instructions going on in the Hampton and Richmond dugout, but no sign of any substitutions as yet. Pip Blardo has won a free kick out on the left-hand side, level with the centre circle, but still inside the Hampton and Richmond half. Rory Donaldson now makes his way out to warm up down the touchline as we wait for Pip Blardo to take this free kick. Hampton and Richmond now with that lead, fairly conservative in their setup for this free kick. Fernandez, Dreyer, Ravan all remain around and about the halfway line. George Hunt and Deadfield not much further forward. And then there's a cluster of forwards around the edge of the box, and it's Gray challenging for it, sends it up in the air. Mensah clears, it's only to Deadfield who heads it forward. Seymour tries to flick it on, can't quite get a strong enough touch on it, and instead it's Matthew Rowley through to collect that one. Bloomfield putting the defence under pressure here. Rowley forced into a clearance that George Hunt collects, and Hampton and Richmond now the team with the stronger set of turnovers. Sends it forward and tries to find Seymour, but Mensah is the one to collect, but his pass isn't the best, and George Hunt can collect that one. Header forward from Jake Gray. It's not too dangerous, and Bloomfield just down on his knees here. Might be a touch of cramp for the forward. It's being played forward here, and Dover on the attack, but Ravan shields the ball well, sends it back to Desbois, who clears under pressure from Dembele. It's bouncing all over the place here as Mensah clears that, and Bloomfield clearly in some pain here, just rubbing his quad. And there will be substitutions for Dover. Number 8, Freddie Oliver, is making way for substitute Kai Garrett. Number 7. And Hampton and Richmond not quite ready to make a change yet, but plenty of water being taken on board by players from both sides. And the physio is attending to Mason Bloomfield, who is just struggling a little bit here, perhaps added heat, and has certainly put a shift in today. Did you hear that?
I did not hear the, well, did we hear the attendance?
The attendance has just been announced, but sadly I did not quite catch that, but I'm sure it'll be announced on the Twitter pages if you're to head over there, and it will be a nice addition to that 23,000 who we've already had down in our home attendances this season at the Beverley. I'm sorry, didn't manage to connect that, but there will be a substitution now for Hampton and Richmond. It will be Shane Dunn making an appearance here at the Beverley, and Sam Deadfield, who is of course on a yellow card, who will be making way. Deadfield, of course, with the assist today. Shane Dunn, traditionally a defensive midfield, I'm sure will just be coming on to shore things up for Hampton and Richmond in the closing stages of this match, trying to see out this 1-0 advantage. Just going through the necessary checks with the linesman come fourth official.
You know, the reason I didn't hear the attendance is I was too distracted. The dog got freaked out by the ball going out of play. It distracted me.
Nice little Hampton and Richmond mascot here in the gantry. But we're back underway here, and Mensah has possession, plays it into Wilkinson, who's in that holding midfield role for Dover. He sprays it back out to Naylor, who's asking for play to just be a bit faster amongst the Dover players, and Akehurst is now in possession on this left-hand side, plays it into Baptiste. They're about level with the Hampton and Richmond box here. Dangerous position. Akehurst just trying to dodge past Ravan, but Jake Gray's there to clear it up, sends it clear, but it's blocked well by Baptiste, who now sends in the cross to that back post. It could be an instant impact from the substitute Kai Garrett, but he can't quite get on the end of that one, and it's watched out for a goal kick to Adam Dubois. Despite their woes and despite their relegation and despite being 1-0 down, the Dover Massive still audible here at the Beverley. A massive might be a slight exaggeration, as a scattering of white shirts, shall we say.
They're making their voices heard.
They are indeed. Adam Dubois stands over the goal kick as he looks to send it long out towards the left-hand side of the Hampton and Richmond attack. Plays it forward to Naylor, and he heads it away. Shane Dunn and George Hunt both challenging for that. In the end, it's Pip Blado who sends it forward. Back to Naylor, who sends it forward. Back to Pip Blado. And this time Bloomfield wins it off Naylor, but it's Holding who will clear this one up. Seymour struggle for touches, given the quality of these Dover defenders. I have to say, I'd say the strongest two players on this pitch for Dover has potentially been their two centre-backs. Charles Cook, also important player for Dover. He sends it forward from the throw-in on the right. It's all a bit messy in the middle, but Thomas looking to emerge with it. One back by Charles Cook. Nikaj dodging his way forward. George Hunt makes the challenge, almost plays Seymour through on goal, but it is collected by Matthew Rowley.
Maidstone, we missed a couple right there, sorry. Maidstone has gotten one back, but they are still down 3-1, so still that.
And in this game,
in
this game, Akehurst is just getting forward on this left-hand side for Dover, plays it back into the middle on the edge of the box, back with Akehurst on the left-hand side, and Baptiste looking to play the cross. Wilkinson back in possession, and it looked quite exciting to start off with that attack, but Hampton and Richmond have got back in their numbers and just managed to sit behind the ball well to prevent any real threat from Dover. They still have it on this right-hand side though, and left-hand side, sorry, and Baptiste is looking to play it forward. Wilkinson trying to play a ball across, but it's slightly wayward, and Thomas can get on the end of it. Although Charles Cook now gets the better of him and stumbles as Thomas looks to hold him back, and it will now be a free kick for Dover, and it's quite a dangerous position. There will be another substitution before that free kick happens though. And Wilkinson, who's been pretty pivotal to Dover's play in the centre, will be replaced by Jaden Drakes Thomas. There's 3 substitutions now from Dover. Clearly feel changes needed if they are to make a breakthrough in this match, but they do have the opportunity from a free kick out on their right-hand side, not far from the edge of the box, near the sideline. And Seymour makes up a one-man wall just on the corner, the right-hand side of the box. A line of players on the edge of the box, almost everyone forward, played in towards the near post and flicked on by Nikaj, but it's over the crossbar and no real threat. But there will be another substitution here, and this time it is for Hampton and Richmond. Jordan Thomas making way for Rory Donaldson.
Just as an added note, Chelmsford has added a second, so they are now up 2-0.
Chelmsford fairly comfortably in second position, although their loss to Dover did take them reasonably clear to an insurgent Worthing. And they'll be happy to get the 3 points today to secure that second place spot. Desbois over this goal kick now, sends it long out towards Hampton and Richmond's right-hand side, up towards Bloomfield, headed away, but Shane Dunn heads it back, and Bloomfield this time wins the header, tries to find Seymour, hooked clear by Mensah, and Shane Dunn with the challenge, and there is additional minutes, 4 minutes added on here at the Beverley, 4 minutes to see out for Hampton and Richmond to earn this 3 points, to keep this 1-0 lead. It's playing forward to Bloomfield, Seymour on the end of it, but just flicks it back into the path of a Dover defender, and now they can come away and attack. Sturdy challenge there from Shane Dunn on Charles Cook, and he just sends it forward and out for a goal kick. Will be Matthew Rowley out to run over to collect that one, and last-ditch attempts for Dover here to find the equaliser, sent forward by Charles Cook, but Pitblado with the header clear, out for another throw-in on the right-hand side for Dover. And Charles Cook throws this forward. Donaldson receives a push in the back, given as no foul, but it's back with the Hampton and Richmond defence. Bit of miscommunication there almost from Fernandez and Dreyer, but it is eventually cleared by the latter. And back with Mensah in the Dover defence, and Gray with another interception here. Seymour fouled as he turns away from the substitute Thomas, and a free kick which I'm sure Hampton and Richmond will take their time over here.
And Chelmsford really padding their goal difference now. They have just scored again, so they are up 3-0.
Chelmsford did lose, as I've said before, did lose to Dover. So Hampton and Richmond doing well to retain a 1-0 lead against the relegated side. Shane Dunn trying to lift one into the path of Bloomfield. Seymour just wandering back from an offside position, but he does have it now, and he'll try and go around the outside, just trips as he does so. There are a few cheers for a penalty from the Hampton and Richmond fan, but I think they were more speculative than based on anything real concrete. And Rowley takes the goal kick quickly into his defence, sends it into Naylor, plays it across to Holding. He goes long down the right-hand side, trying to find Nikaj, who fouls Pitblado in his attempts to win the ball, and it will be another free kick to Hampton and Richmond. And it looks like it will be another substitution. This time it will be Ben Seymour, who struggled to really get into this game, making way for the former Dover player, Josh Anafawoes, although I think we might have to wait a little bit for that substitution. No, we will have it now.
number 9, Ben Seymour.
Ben Seymour, 14 league goals so far this season. Really crucial to Hampton and Richmond's efforts, and he is receiving a lovely round of applause as he makes way for all his efforts at the Beverley this season. All the fans acknowledge just how pivotal he's been. Oh, penalty scorer. And Josh Onafor-Woes, mid-season addition for Hampton and Richmond from Dover Athletic, comes on to face his old teammates in the remaining couple of minutes in this match. Whistle goes and Desbois will take this goal kick out towards that left-hand side, up towards Bloomfield. Chests it down to Onafor-Woes for his first touch of the ball. Plays into Bloomfield. He takes the shot, but it's just wide of that near post. He found space. Onafor-Woes set him up well, but he couldn't quite connect with that shot well enough. And it does just go wide of the near post and out for a goal kick, which is taken quickly, as you might expect of a team 1-0 down. But Jake Gray is there to close down the final pass that will be made in this match. The final whistle has gone and it ends 1-0 to Hampton and Richmond in the Beverley. It's a well-needed 3 points for the Beavers. Dover not really impacting their position. They will remain bottom of the table. They will remain relegated. But Hampton and Richmond have received a vital boost in their hopes of making the playoffs this season. How are the scores looking in the rest of the league? Have they received a boost from Farnborough?
The game is still going on, but yes, it is still 1-0, or they're down 1-0 in the 90+6. So
very close to a conclusion at Farnborough. Do you want to run us through the scores from the rest of the National League South?
I thought you'd never ask. So Bath 1, Torquay 0, Chelmsford 3, Tonebridge 0, and that is they are still playing 90+6 as well. Eastbourne Borough 3, Chippenham 0, Farnborough 0, Taunton 1. That game is still going as well. Havant and Waterlooville 1, Braintree 2. Hemel Hempstead 2, Slough 3. St. Albans 2, Worthing 4, Truro 3, Maidstone 1. Welling and Weymouth are tied 0-0. Weston-super-Mare 1, Avely 2. That game is still going. And then the league leaders, Yeovil, ended their game 3-1 to Dartford. So that means that Yeovil, they weren't moving. They're staying first. Chelmsford moves up to second. Braintree now in third. Maidstone fourth. Worthing fifth. Bath 6. Yep. Oh, I think we have a slight glitch on our app. On this.
The app is currently telling us that Hampton and Richmond are 9th, but I'm very much hoping
that is incorrect. I know that.
Not correct. As we sort that out, I'll run you through the highlights of the game. Hampton and Richmond, of course, the team more dominant and deserved of the win here at the Beverley. A close chance for Jordan Thomas in the first half. He hit the underside of the bar, just bouncing out. Unfortunate for him. It would have been a nice way to celebrate his return from injury just a few matches ago, and he was important to the match in his wing-back position. Hampton and Richmond then continued to push in the second half and were rewarded when Deadfield delivered a perfect ball to that far post for Pip Blado to finish from the corner and put Hampton and Richmond 1-0 ahead. From there, Dover never really looked to threaten the goal. A couple of shots on target that Desbois was forced into saves, but he was never really troubled other than forcing a shot wide of the far post in the first half. And Hampton and Richmond come away with a lovely end to their season at the Beverley, should they, and hopefully we will be back here in the last stages of the playoffs, but it's certainly a boost to their playoff chances here today. Have we got an updated?
Yes, the app has corrected itself. Hampton and Richmond is in fact in 7th. Not sure what happened there. So it's Yeovil, Worthing, Braintree, Chelmsford, Maidstone, Bath, and then closing out. And again, we still have that game in hand, Hampton and Richmond. And we are now on 72 points, just a point below Bath in 6th.
Brill. And how 3 points ahead now of Farnborough, are we?
That is correct.
That game
Bath
is still
correct.
ongoing. So hopefully that game will remain 1-0, but thank you for joining us.
We're actually going to stay with you during the season awards.
Glad that I was informed. Excellent.
Plot twist. But
so we will be staying with you, and please do stay with us for the end of season awards that will shortly be taking place on the pitch at the Beverley. We will love to reward the players who have taken us through such a wonderful season for Hampton and Richmond. The players still out on the pitch. Happy, happy days.
Who would your man of the match be?
I think I'd have to give it to Isaac Piplado, the goal scorer today. It seems like an obvious choice, but he has been superb in defence and in attack, and I think, if I'm right, he does seem to be being awarded a Player of the Match award here. Tom, the photographer, being called over with Isaac Piplado, with Will King, the managing director, being given the Player of the Match award here. So congratulations to him, thoroughly deserved. What a performance. Very important in defence, of course, moving to that back three, which seems to work well. Of course, Dreyer, Fernandez and Piplado making up that back three. And Inman not in the squad, having said he will not be playing here next season. He will instead be heading to Australia, which, take me with you.
Can't question that. And that Farnborough game is now final, so they did lose 1-0 and are in 8th place.
A really good Saturday then for Beavers fans. A lovely way to end the season at the Beverley, final league bar any playoff success that we might have, and that playoff success is looking ever more likely with the results today. Farnborough losing, Hampton and Richmond winning, and you can't ask for more than that.
Sun's out. It's really been the perfect day.
It's the first time I've worn a t-shirt outside. We are now having some speeches from Mel Gwinnett, just to thanking the crowd for their support, and that extends to anyone who's been there.
The lads, a young team, learning the game.
He's just thanking crowd for their support this season. That extends to anyone who's been following along on this channel or come down to the Beverley for however many matches you have this season. Might be able to hear, I'm not sure what the microphone's picking up, but I'll try and summarise as we go.
Those who've had to get jobs with families can't quite do the same, but they've worked their socks off. Every one of them giving hours
now,
and hours
giving thanks to the players and for their time this season and hours they've put in. It's an incredible season with an incredible unbeaten run, and we've all enjoyed the journey we've been on and that the players have taken us on this season, and hopefully we can end it with some time in the playoffs.
I'm getting a little bit emotional. Where's the season gone? I know we still have 2 games left, but yeah,
it really has gone quickly. But
we're clapping for Dean, I do believe. Oh no. I think we're just clapping for everyone.
Clapping. Why wouldn't we clap? Probably should have been listening slightly more intently, but
to work with these guys. And I hope you give an applause now. There's awards for 3 of them. And I had to pick a manager's
will be 3 awards, I think. Usually a player's player, a manager's player, and maybe a fan's player?
There was a supporter's player, yes.
Yeah. So
for the ones who do win, and then they'll all come round and thank you personally as they go in out. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
more clapping for the players here.
Never enough clapping.
Never enough clapping. Mel thanking all of them, despite 3 of them picking up awards here, and we will soon find out who those 3 are. It's gone weirdly quiet.
Are you ready for the
Johnny?
end of season?
Johnny was made for this.
Yeah, Johnny, who many of you be familiar with from Beaver TV, is out there ready to present
I
these
feel like there should be a drum
awards.
roll.
I feel like I should go quiet. I'm glad to see there's an Arsenal shirt also being represented out there.
The Player of the Season award.
Starting with the Players Player Season of the Year award. Season of the Year?
So,
Player of the Year.
So this season's Hampton and Richmond's Players Player Award goes to
Louis Fernandez!
And that has been awarded to Louis Fernandez, to much
Well
clapping
deserved.
and cheers from the Hampton and Richmond crowd.
I think
Very
he would
well
have. I
deserved.
think he would have been my player of the season.
Yeah, he's been in a number of teams of the week, absolutely crucial to the defensive efforts, and got a goal on a number of occasions this season. Another solid performance from him today and another clean sheet, so
And a top-notch hairstyle, bun. It's really.
I'm sure
all
that was a
around.
contributing factor. And
So that brings
he
us on
claps
to
the crowd
our
here, and
supporters
we're moving on now
player
to
of
Supporters
the
Player of the Year.
So, your supporters player of the year this season goes to Adam Debois!
And that goes to Adam Debois. Another fantastic display today. And we've seen so many times how crucial he's come in, how many saves he's made that have made the difference in games for us this year. And again today, he made a save from Stewart when he was through on goal, bounding it onto that far post and making sure we maintain that clean sheet.
To the Manager's Player of the Season award.
We finally have the Manager's Player of the Season award.
This season's Manager's Player of the Year goes to Sam Deadfield!
And that is awarded to today's assister, Sam Deadfield. He's been an absolute stalwart of this team this season, and so many times delivering from dead ball situations and just being a bit of a disruptor and a distributor in that midfield.
I love a somewhat defensive midfielder getting an award because, you know, a lot of times they're the quieter ones. They don't get the plaudits, but very well deserved.
Such a manager's pick, I feel. The defensive midfielder, you know,
I'm here for it.
the little engine in the middle. The manager loves them, and you can see why. And don't we all love Sam Deadfield?
He will be joining the staff, coaching staff. He's very, very well respected in the game. I've known Alan a long, long time. Normally from extra putting goals past him, but I've known him a long time.
Oh, Gwyneth doing a little speech here for Alan Julian, who of course retired to join the coaching staff recently.
The lads have got nothing but respect for him, and he's going to be an outstanding coach. He was an outstanding goalkeeper. So we've got a presentation to him. We've also, Dean Inman has took the decision to get as far away from me as possible and is off to Australia. So Dean will be sadly missed.
Mel in the middle. Josh.
Mel joking that Dean Inman is trying to get as far away as possible from him by moving to Australia.
And I think there'll be a couple of shirt presentations for the two, I guess, departing players, although Alan Julian will still be around the club.
We'll all be sorry to see him go. We wish him all the best in Australia. We've had a couple of shirts done for both of you guys. So I think Will now will present you with the shirts, or the brothers. Brothers, go on, you two, one shirt each. We'll present them with their shirts. We've had a big
Gizo brothers will present these shirts to Dean Inman and Alan Julian.
I mean, how many games were Fernandez and Inman really, they were the reason that we kept clean sheets or got the win. That partnership for most of the season was just so important.
Absolutely superb. And remember the Taunton Town away, just such a resolute defensive performance, and the amount of headers those two made was incomprehensible. And Alan Julian been a fantastic player for this club. Obviously sadly injured earlier this season, so we haven't seen him, but handed over his duties to Adam Debois, and I'm sure he'll be just as invaluable in coaching our new keeper. Got a little game of tag going on elsewhere on the pitch with a couple of children. They're both rather cutely in Hampton and Richmond shirt.
I think that was a foul.
Yeah, yellow card ref.
A little shove in the back. Well, what a game, what an afternoon, Laura. You did great.
Brilliant. Yeah, thank you for your support in the second half, and please do join us for the next two matches, which will be just as crucial in the run-in to the playoffs. We'll leave it there, but it was 1-0 to Hampton and Richmond, and a boost to our chances in the playoffs.
Come on, you Beavers.